Hey you guys, it is me, Laura, and I just wanted to hop on here and share a couple things with you that I have been learning this week. So my hope is to do an update about weekly-ish. We'll see what we can do, and it'll mostly be just about homeschooling because that is what is big on my heart and my mind. I do have another channel called Scraps of Encouragement, and it is where I post video tutorials from time to time for card making as well. But I thought it would be good to just kind of share what I'm learning here, both for me and in hopes that it might help someone else. But I think the big lesson that has been really on my heart and my mind for this past week as we continue to iron things out for the year and make sure that everyone has the programs that they need and the schedule that they need and things are just lining up well, is that I think I'm really kind of internalizing and putting into practice a lot of the things that I have kind of said but not really believed about homeschooling. For example, I've never been a huge fan of the way that grade levels are done in school. They're completely by age. You kind of go through just because you get older, and they don't really hold kids back very much or move them ahead. It's just all kind of age-based, and that was hard for me when I was a teacher as well, because I had some students who were very advanced, had some students who really were struggling and trying to keep up. It was just too much. The pace was too much. And I've always kind of felt that way. It'd be, if you had like a homeroom that was all your age and that was your grade level, but then level each of the subjects separately so that the kids can move through them at their own rate. I think that would be awesome. And I'm all for that. And I think it's easy for us as homeschoolers to completely support that when our kids are advanced in an area. But it can be harder when our kids struggle or aren't where we feel like they quote unquote should be. And I feel like I especially struggle with that. I feel like culturally people expect a whole lot more out of us for homeschooling, and if our kids are not on level or ahead of level, which if you think about it, the way testing is done, only half of the kids are going to be working at the 50th percentile. So you can never get all the kids working, like there can always be the same percentage of kids doing well, always, across the board, because of the way that the testing is done. And anyway, it's kind of crazy. But the point of this is that if our kids seem to be doing better than average, we don't mind, the levels and whatever, but it can be a challenge to keep things back because the expectations on homeschoolers is very high. And I know whether it's real or felt, I feel like if my kids are struggling in an area, that people will automatically think that it's because I'm not taking their schooling seriously, or that I'm not doing a good job of teaching them, or whatever else, when maybe they're just not developmentally there yet. So a prime example of this is my 6-year-old. He is a young 6, so if he was in a public school system based on his age, he would be entering 1st grade. But I know that last year I would not have put him in kindergarten because he would not have been ready developmentally. He would be on the very young end of the kids in his class, and he just wasn't there yet. But this year, starting homeschool, I jumped right into 1st grade level because he was doing really well with math. We had done some reading stuff, some of the basic phonics language foundations. But there's a couple things with this. Kindergarten over the year has changed, and from the time that I was in school to now, and this can be substantiated by several, teacher friends and people like that, like the expectations of kindergarten over the years has changed. And what used to be expected in 1st grade is now often expected in kindergarten. And what used to be expected in kindergarten is now turned into pre-K. And it's just it doesn't developmentally fit where a child is. And so the rigor of the 1st grade program that I had with my 6-year-old just was not working. And so I thought, well, we'll just go back and we'll do the curriculum itself. Like the way it was set up and structured was really good. It was just way too much. So we went back and did, we're now trying kindergarten of the same program. And I thought, oh, we'll just take it double speed and we'll just go through it double speed because he knows some of this stuff already will be good. But you know what? We have been working on it this week and it is perfect just the way it is. We don't need to speed it up. We don't need to try to race ahead. Maybe some of the concepts are easy for him, but there's also a lot of developmental work going on, a lot of fine motor skills that are being developed, a lot of learning about being expected to do a job and finish a job, whether it be an assignment or sitting down and finishing doing a lesson, and a level of excitement with learning. And if I push him too fast, too far, that'll be gone and he'll hate school and hate learning. And that's exactly what I don't want as a homeschooling mom. I think most of us as homeschooling moms, that's not what we want. But at the same time, the structure, the system for him seeing the progress that he's making, it's very, very good. And I've just kind of been realizing this week, even with my oldest, how I often try to move things faster, to go through things as quick as I can and to do as well and to keep up and to do all of that. And that's one of the reasons that we want to homeschool our kids, is so that we can do things at their pace. But I think I'm always afraid if that means to go slower. But what I'm learning is that means that there's a foundation that is going to be strong and stable. And as the kids get older and have that strong, stable foundation, it will make everything else easier for them, even if it's slower. Because there comes a point where they just start catching up and the gap, the difference doesn't really matter very much. When they're little, it seems huge because they learn so much so quickly in these early years. But over time, they catch up. And so it seems like, just trying to cram too much in, it's just not good for anyone. So this year, one of the things I have been learning is really just to slow down and enjoy where they are, and don't worry about what it looks like to other people or what other people might think or how other people might feel about it. Like, it really doesn't matter. All that matters is that my kids are where they need to be, learning what they need to be, and developing where they need to be. Both of them have areas where they're quote unquote behind level, and both of them have areas that they are excelling in. And you know what? That is normal. That is what being a kid and an individual is. And I think as homeschoolers, it's important that we embrace that. And so for me, a theme this week in my homeschool that I've been learning as a person has just been to slow down. And even with my toddler, to slow down and enjoy where she's at, where the boys are at, where everyone is at right now and what they're doing. And so I wanted to share that with you guys, and also hopefully encourage some of you who might be feeling stressed because things aren't going the way you want, aren't doing, things aren't happening as you want. Maybe your kids aren't advancing or doing what you think they need to do or on the level you feel like they need to be on. Just consider going back. And even if it's really easy for a while, let them build that confidence. As long as they're not bored. If they're bored, move a little faster. Only do half of the problems on the page and do 2 pages a day instead of 1, or half of the lesson and do 2 instead of 1, or do what you feel like is their pace. But find their sweet spot and feel free to work at that, and don't feel bound by a school year. One of my kids is going to finish up his math probably around Christmas time. That's fine. He'll just go to the next level, and some of them, it might take them through half of next year to finish what they're working on. That's okay. Go at their speed and don't feel stressed or pressured to do more than your child's ready for. And that's okay. And that doesn't mean that you're doing a bad job. It means that you're listening to your kids and paying attention to their needs, which is a good thing. So that's what I'm learning this week. I hope to have some more videos coming for you guys. We're still hammering out for sure our curriculum for the year as soon as we've done that for a few weeks, and I'm confident that it's going well and I can share with you exactly what we're doing. I will be doing that. I'll be sharing with you kind of our schedule Maybe I'll do a day in the life. I'm not sure if I'm up for that, but we might do that. And I hope to share with you a little bit more in depth with each of the things that I'm using with each of the kids for this school year. And if there's anything else you'd like to see, please let me know in the comments below. And I'd love to hear, how is the start of your year going? I know we've had a couple of false starts. It's a slow start, but I feel like we're really building a solid foundation, and I feel like it's really hard right now. I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard, but I feel like we're kind of doing the hard work so that this year will be so much better. So how has your year been going? What's been going better than expected? What's been going worse than expected? I would love to hear it in the comments below, and I will see you again next week. Talk to you later. Bye.